The music production landscape is changing rapidly. We have AI on our heels right now as music producers and a whole boatload of other technologies that are going to make it very hard for music producers to stand out. What's going on is Jay Myrax of Altruwest.com. In this video, I'm going to provide you with 7 survival tips that will help you to survive the coming landscape of music production. Number 1. It's time to embrace imperfection. A lot of you guys are holding on to projects that you worked on. You're holding on to songs that you don't think are ready to release. You're holding yourself back because your setup is not complete. You have a whole list of excuses that you're holding on to because you're too busy trying to perfect this thing that you think is going to stop you from actually being successful. Well, in this new era, perfection is dead, and you're going to have to let go of this idea of perfectionism. Perfectionism with humans is going to die with AI. You cannot expect to compete with AI when it comes to perfection. A machine is always going to win. Where you have your unique advantage is actually in your imperfection, in being human, and you're going to have to start showing up as a human. You're not going to be allowed to sit and wait till something is perfect in the future because the landscape is changing drastically, and the rate at which AI will be able to produce perfection is going to far exceed your capabilities as a human. You don't have an advantage there. Your advantage is where you actually embrace the things that make you unique. Psalm 139:14 says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. God made you perfect as you are. So it's time for you to embrace that and to live that as a music producer. So stop holding on to this concept of perfection. Stop waiting for this perfect opportunity to do something. Stop waiting until your setup is perfect. Get out there and start to produce. Number 2, it's time to show up as a face and a name, not just a producer tag. The era of being able to identify a producer just based on a sonic signature like a producer tag will die. With this coming landscape of AI can definitely emulate a producer tag. There's nothing significantly unique about a producer tag today, and that won't be enough to win the trust of potential buyers of your music. In this new era, you're going to have to show up. It's time to put a face and a name to the music that people can trust. You may have to show up on social media as a face connected to the music. You can no longer hide behind the beat tag. You can no longer hide behind the beat machine. It's time for you, the producer, to shine. This is your moment, and this will be your era for those that step up to the occasion. It's time to show face. Number 3, invest in recording equipment. This is super important in this new era. We've seen products like Udio and Suno and their ability to quickly interpret and create content based upon things that have already been modeled in the system. The problem is that none of that stuff is unique, and that gives you a unique advantage as a music producer to implement and create new sounds. But how are you going to implement new sounds into your recordings if you're not recording? This is your time, but it's only your time if you're willing to actually start recording unique sounds. So invest in recording equipment. It's time for you to take it seriously and move to the next level. So in order for you to have an original sound, you must record original sounds. That's where the recording equipment is going to come in. Make sure that you have the proper equipment so that you can start recording unique sounds. Having an assortment of mics, preamps, and of course, audio interfaces to help you to record sounds that you can implement into your productions in the future. That will be a strong way for you to continue to stand out in a world that is filled with AI-generated music. Number 4, use live instrumentation in your productions. This is going to be another important one to help to humanize your music. You're competing now with things like Suno and Udio that can produce really interesting and somewhat convincing performances. They're still going to be missing that human element that draws deep from the soul, from the spirit, from personal experiences, from personal context and cultural immersion. This is the stuff that you'll get from working with live musicians. So it's important to incorporate live musicianship and live instrumentation into your music so that it stands out and has a real connection to the audience. Number 5, move away from tools and technology that homogenize sound. Now, for years, we've been using things like quantization, auto-tune, and even commercially available loops. These are things that help us to work faster. They're things that help us to make our music sound a bit more tight and perfect. But the problem in this new landscape is that those are things that also help to homogenize music, and it won't help you to stand out in a world that's filled with AI generated content. Now in the future, we expect that more people will start to favor generative AI over loops and things of that nature. But the reality is in the future, to separate yourself, you're gonna have to stop relying on those things in order for a real human element to be present in your music. So back off the quantize a bit. Allow some of your natural swing to be present. Find new quantized values that you can use. Try 30%, try 20%. Matter of fact, try no quantize. Anything that will allow the human aspect of your performance to be heard. Same with auto-tune. It might be time to lay off the auto-tune completely because of the way that it homogenizes voices. Let the natural inflection of the voice be heard. If the voice is a little pitchy or imperfect, it doesn't matter. In this new era, that's going to separate you. With respect to loop content, you may want to consider using more exclusive libraries in the future. Using widely available sample libraries is definitely going to put you at a disadvantage in terms of sounding unique. So you're going to want to find more underground and exclusive sample libraries that you can depend on that you know are not being used at mass by a lot of producers. These things will help you to stand out and help you to maintain some unique qualities in your production. Number 6. Embrace live streaming as a part of your engagement strategy. I know a lot of you guys don't desire to be streamers and whatnot. You didn't get into music production to be in front of a camera. But the reality is, live streaming is a great way to add a human element to your presence. And when you do live streams, regardless of whether that's you doing beat making sessions or doing music recording sessions or music chats or anything that you can do to engage as a human in a live manner is going to put you a step ahead of the competition, especially in a world that's filled with recorded, produced, heavily curated content that is generated by AI. If you live stream, that gives you an advantage. When you're live streaming and someone asks you a question, for example, you as a human have the ability and the cultural context to provide an answer that is aligned with the line of questioning that you're getting on a live stream. It's going to be very difficult for an AI to do that in a convincing way because it's always going to look for some type of validation. It may be unsure of itself. This is where you have the advantage. You still have the cultural context and the understanding of the people in your community so that you can provide the right answer at the right time. Live streaming is a great way to humanize your presence and to show people that you are the real deal and that you really know your stuff. So I highly recommend that you find a live streaming format that allows you to repeatedly show up to your community and show that you are who you say you are as a music producer. Number 7, develop in-person experiences for your music production. Live experiences can be a whole list of things, but I'll name a few things just to get the ideas rolling. So, for example, you can have live beat sets where you do live beat performances to showcase your music to a live audience. This is a great way to humanize your production, to get in front of an audience, to get the vibes from them and to respond to the vibes that you're getting. And it really helps to create more of a sense of connection to your community and your audience. Another thing for some of you guys might be to have some type of in-person club where music producers get together. This is another great way to just humanize the experience and to talk shop and to share ideas and to work with music producers. You can also do things like writing camps where you bring a whole bunch of writers in and producers and musicians and other people that are doing music, recording engineers and whatnot, and you guys get together and you write for a weekend and you build a lot of content, you build a lot of songs, and you build more of the camaraderie that comes with music creation. This is another way to create in-person experiences. For some of you guys, the right thing might be to organize. So you might be an organizer of a music conference or a music production conference, something that allows you to get in front of an audience and build with the community. So there's a lot of things that you can do already as a music producer to create a in-person experience, but get creative. Think about ways that you can leverage your production and your skill set to bring a valuable live experience. So those are my 7 tips for music producers to stand out in 2025 in this new landscape that's going to be filled with a lot of generative AI and a whole bunch of other things that are going to create a lot of noise for the music producer community. If you got value from this video, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also let me know in the comments what are some other things you think would be good for an in-person experience for music producers. All right? So until next time, I want to tell y'all peace and God bless.